just be honest. Let's just be real. Yeah, let's just be honest.
Hey, welcome to Clutch City Chat. I'm Damon.
And I'm Beezy. What's going on, everybody?
Doing things a little bit different today. We're going to try out a little something new, different set, somewhat a little bit more relaxed. And our picks for this week, week 2 in the NFL, we're going to kind of throw around the different games and see what we think. Maybe even throw out some scores, predictions, and stuff like that. Hayden wasn't able to be with us tonight, so we're trying something a little different. We're bringing our producer from behind the camera to give him a little FaceTime and get himself out there. Welcome, Brian.
It's different being on this side, you know?
It is a lot different.
It is like you see the lights and the cameras.
Yeah, y'all talk all that crap behind the camera and giggle in the background and messing around with stuff, but you don't really realize what it's like in front of the camera.
I like it though. It's good. It's different, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So first up, Jets and Bills. Who you got? Just kidding.
The Jets and Bills.
Awful.
That might be a little close.
So let's go put up 31 points and then fire our offensive coordinator because he was the one responsible for giving the other team 37 points.
Nah, man, it's a horrible decision. But.
So first up, let's go with the 12 o'clock games. We're gonna start Bengals Steelers. Who you got? I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Bengals. I know it's gonna be a really intensity game. You know, officials will put on high alert for that game, but I think the Steelers are gonna pull it off. I think Big Ben's gonna come through, and he's gonna Big Ben Antonio Brown mixture is gonna really come through with it, and they're gonna come over with a win.
Yeah, I want to go and say it's going to be the Bengals just because it seems like they alternate. The teams hate each other. There's no doubt about it. Each one of those games last year ended somebody's season with a major injury. You had Andy Dalton breaking a thumb. He was out for a little while. You had Antonio Brown getting a concussion and missed one of their playoff games, which ended up hurting them pretty bad thanks to Vontaze Burfict. Now, because of that, Vontaze Burfict is suspended for this game. And then you had Le'Veon Bell blew out his knee on a late hit on the sideline. So it's going to be interesting. Le'Veon Bell is out for this game too, but we saw what they did to the Redskins without him.
Yeah, and I think DeAngelo Williams is really stepping up as a backup running back. So he'll be able to come through and put up the points. Rejoice. Yeah, if you have him in fantasy, if you don't, good luck but he's definitely going to put up some good yardage and if not some good touchdowns over.
What do you think for a score?
I feel like it's going to be high intensity. It's going to be a defensive game that's really going to step up on this one. So if anything, it's going to be like a 17-10 or a 13-10, maybe something like that. I feel like it's going to be a field goal game. And whoever scores the touchdown might win it. If not, then it's going to be one of the teams is going to blow out the other. And I feel like if it's a blowout, I have to give it to the Steelers.
I'm going to say 24-22.
24-22?
24-22.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to be a major high-scoring game. That's still somewhat average, 24-22. Field goals and, defense is definitely going to play a role in this. I think there might be a defensive touchdown or two in this game as well.
I can see maybe if it's a close game, I can see maybe the offense going for risky for a 2 instead of a 1.
The Steelers, they're known for that. They're known for going for the two-point conversion almost every time.
And that can also be the deciding factor of who's going to win it.
Next up, we got the game nobody cares about. It's the Titans and Lions.
We can go ahead and skip that.
Anybody want to wait?
Nobody wants to talk about it, so we can go ahead and skip it.
I'm going to say 31-10 Lions. I'm just going to go ahead and throw a score out there. The Titans just look like a dumpster fire right now.
I think the Lions are going to take it hands down. If the Titans do pull it off, it's going to be by the grace of God, because they just did some Indian ritual before it started off.
Rain dance.
And they rain dancing. But besides that, I think it's going to be the Lions.
Next up, we got the Ravens against the Browns. It's the Ravens at the Browns. Not that really there's much of a home field advantage there.
RG3's out.
Oh,
yeah.
Season's over. It was over before they signed him. So
he's
and that's at 12 o'clock also. I'm going to go with the Ravens. Ravens are going to run away with this. I'm hearing a lot of people saying watch out for the Browns in this because it's actually an upgrade bringing in McCown over RG3 at quarterback. Still, I can't bet on Cleveland ever.
They call it an upgrade, but they still put RG3 in front of him. So it's is there really going to be that much of an upgrade?
It's like saying a gnome is an upgrade from a dwarf.
Exactly. It's the same thing. They're both short. Yeah. So
next up, Cowboys and Redskins. We got a couple of friends that are going to be interested to hear what we say about this. Who you got?
I hate the Cowboys. I don't think there's. Honestly, I hate the Cowboys. And
Redskins.
I'm gonna go for Redskins, but I think they don't have anybody really, you know. And I feel like look at the mistake that happened at the end of the game last week, where they could have possibly won it, but you know, you have somebody who doesn't have the experience.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, he doesn't get out of bounds, and I'm like, it's things like that which I feel like is what causes them to lose, and that's why against the Redskins I have to give the advantage.
Yeah, I think the Redskins. I think their offense is powerful enough that they can do something, especially with the Cowboys' defense lacking all the players that they're lacking due to suspensions and injuries.
Injuries, like the whole team's almost out.
And then the defense, the Redskins' defense is somewhat underrated. I really like Kerrigan. I really like Kerrigan a lot, and Kerrigan going up against Dak Prescott and that offense, I mean, that offensive line is great, but Ezekiel Elliott, I know everyone wants to jump on that bandwagon. He's still young, so we still don't know what he's going to be able to do yet.
Yeah.
And then Dez Bryant on top of that, good receiver, great receiver. We had an argument about that today on our fantasy channel. But,
that was funny.
It got pretty heated, but I mean, 5 targets and he had 1 catch for 8 yards.
Yeah, my thing is, it's with Dez Bryant, it's a hit or miss, man.
Now
like,
there's Josh Norman there too.
Yeah. So with Dez Bryant, it's like I said, like he can go 1 for 5 on catches, or he can give you these great plays where it's going to be game ending. But you never know with him. You know, it's going to be one of those things where we'll just see what type of Dez we get. We get the Dez who drops the passes, and it's going to be like the reviewable plays, or it's going to be the Dez Bryant where he just shuts down everybody.
And it wasn't a catch. Okay, it was 2 years ago. Get over it. If anything, I might be willing to concede to a catch and then a fumble, but it was not a catch.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Next game up. This one I'm actually pretty excited to find out what's going to happen. This one's Saints and Giants. I'm going to take this one first. If you followed last year, right now the Saints are 0-1, Giants are 1-0. Last year these two played each other, and both quarterbacks put up 6 touchdowns. If I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I remember that.
It
That was a
like,
great game.
They put up over, I think it was 100 points combined. They each had like over 500 yards passing, something like that. It was crazy numbers. I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was ridiculous. And Drew Brees is trying to prove that he is worth the $100 million they just gave him. You know, that massive extension. Personally, my personal opinion, this is just getting into a whole other topic. I think he is definitely a great quarterback, and he puts up numbers, but I think him taking that amount of money took away from what they're able to spend on other players on that team, and it's showing, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because when you can put up as much offense as he did last week and still lose a game, means you have no defense. I'm going to take the Giants in this one. I really like the passing attack they have. Odell Beckham Jr., Sterling Shepard, Victor Cruz, Eli Manning. You almost don't even have to have a running game when you have those 3 wide receivers.
Really good. He has really, Eli has a lot of tools that he can use, and he has all those young guys and who has speed. And Drew Brees, like, I feel like there's nobody really there anymore. You know, like
cupboard is empty.
Yeah, so it's like
Brandon Cooks, and then
you have a great quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback, but I feel like he doesn't have what's needed like Eli has. You know, Eli has more tools and more weapons that he can utilize, which is going to give him the advantage over like Eli. But the thing is that when we go back to, we talk about that game where they both put up 6 touchdowns, I feel like, okay, congratulations to the quarterbacks. But that's
nobody focused on up at the defense.
But let's talk about the defense, man. Like, you got 6 touchdowns that's put on you by an opposing quarterback, and it's one of those things where like it was just like both defenses was like, hey guys, we're not gonna play. Let it be a quarterback game. Whoever throws the most touchdowns is gonna win.
It's like the leader of the defense on the other team. It's like the middle linebacker comes up. It's like, let him throw one, all right?
Yeah.
I got him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
All right.
Or is that the coin toss?
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're not gonna play. We'll go 50%. But here's the thing. So if the defense pulls through, maybe let's see if a smaller.
The Giants spent a lot on defense. They spent the most on defense of any team in the league this offseason. The most guaranteed money. They spent I think they said it was like $155 million guaranteed money on their defense.
Wow. See, that's a lot.
So we haven't really been given scores on all the games. I know we've kind of forgotten that, but moving on.
32-37.
Next up, we got 49ers and Panthers.
I think Carolina.
Panthers. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Carolina.
I know 49ers, they put up 28 points on the Rams, but it's the Rams. The 49ers let's face it, everybody went into the season. Nobody had faith in
Which I saw a funny thing where they said that the Rams still hasn't scored at home since 1994.
Yeah, it's so bad.
So, but it's one of those things where, like, I don't know.
But let's give Jeff Fisher an extension. We'll touch on that in a minute. But yeah, Panthers for sure. They're coming off a tough loss to Denver. They're pissed off. They're at home.
Yeah.
They're going to steamroll the 49ers. I don't even think it's going to be even a game after the first quarter.
Cam Newton, you could tell just at the end of that game. He was pissed.
He was livid.
Yeah.
I mean, all those shots he took to the head, and
Yeah.
So next we got Dolphins Patriots. Everybody wants to go with the Patriots on this one.
I kind of want to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That defense, man, they were beating people up last week.
Yeah.
They're 0-1, but they're really hitting hard. That defensive line, if they run I believe they run a 3-4. Their defensive line is Cameron Wake, Ndamukong Suh, Mario Williams.
Yeah.
That has every quarterback crapping themselves right now. Like, seriously, just fearing having to run from those three.
And plus, you don't even have the starting quarterback right now. You have Tom Brady still out under suspension, so you have the
got Garoppolo, Jimmy G. Yeah.
So and I don't think Gronkowski's coming back either yet.
They haven't. I haven't seen. I need to check the report.
Yeah. So
nursing a hamstring, and you still got Rob Ninkovich, the leader of their defense, out, their best pass rusher. Yeah, I mean, it's up in the air. I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins for the upset on this. Just. It's a division rival on top of that.
But it would be the upset though. It wouldn't be like they blow them out. I think it would be like an upset game where they might pull it off at the end.
21-17 kind of thing, close. Yeah. Next up, we got our game, Chiefs and Texans.
It's funny because you can't count the Chiefs out because look at last week. Last week they were losing. They came and tied it, and then they win it in OT. So it's one of those things where Chiefs have a really good defense. I was upset about last week because I had them on fantasy, and they didn't give me nothing. So thanks, Chiefs. But and I'm not just saying that because we live in Texas and we live in Houston. But the Texans have started developing a really good core overall. They were always praised for their defense. They had a great defense. You have you have JJ, you have Clowney, Merciless, Cushing's hurt, but we have all these great players who has a stoppage, and our problem was we couldn't convert to points. But now we got Brock Osweiler on the team, and we have we have a young wide receiver core. We have Will Fuller.
The oldest receiver is 24 years old.
Yeah, and that's young.
That's the veteran right now.
That's old. That's younger than me. I'm 26. So it's one of those things. What am I doing with my life?
An old man. So my touch on this. Okay, you definitely can't count the Chiefs out.
Yeah.
They blew us out 30-0 the last time we played them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Started the game off with a kick return for a touchdown. Can't let that happen.
Yeah.
Here's the issue with the Chiefs. Jamal Charles out. Spencer Ware is going to start, but he's hurt. Their offensive line is banged up. Both their starting guards are out for this game, which means you've got Watt on his second game, starting to get his win now. Vince Wilfork, and then now Jadeveon Clowney cemented in at the other defensive end position.
Yeah.
Whitney Merciless playing at the outside linebacker with John Simon. And then the inside linebackers, you got a young Bernard McKinney and a very capable Bullock that filled in for Brian Cushing. They're going to feast on that offensive line. When the interior offensive line is hurt, it really shows.
Yeah.
And they're going to be going after Alex Smith and the running backs. And then that offense now, we sped it up. I think now we have an offense that can keep up. We have a better special teams.
Yeah.
I feel like the Texans, just based on revenge alone, based on everything that's going on, I see them coming out and just firing on all cylinders. I'm predicting a high score here. I'm going to sound like a homer here, but just because of the revenge factor and them being pissed off, they beat them twice on their own field last year, and now they get another shot at them on their own field again. I'm going to say 31-15.
31-15? Wow.
I think they come out
That's
guns blazing.
I think the key for this game is to keep the tempo high. You got fast core wide receivers, so you keep the tempo going.
You get that lead, put your foot on their throat, and step down.
Just keep going, and just get the turnovers. Have them go for 3 and out. Have them make sure they're kicking in on fourth down every single time. Don't let them get the conversions.
Absolutely. And the crowd needs to be involved.
Yeah. So we got to get them hype, get them going. And I feel like if we keep the tempo moving, the Texans are going to pull out with the win.
We're gonna speed this up a little bit. We got a few games left here. So Seahawks and Rams.
Seahawks.
Is there anybody out there picking the Rams? No. Seahawks all the way. Buccaneers Cardinals. I think we disagree on this one.
Yeah, and it's if y'all saw my last video, y'all know I'm a big Bucks fan. I love the Texans. Don't get me wrong, and I root for them no matter what. But when it comes to the Bucks, I love the Bucks. So when it comes to the Bucks versus the Cardinals, I have to go for the Bucks.
Buccaneers with the upset.
Bucks. I don't even think with the upset. Here's the thing: it's an upset for everyone else, but
It's
I think
an upset because the Cardinals are one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl.
yeah, I think the Bucks are so underrated, and I think that they'll be able to pull off the win. And I think Jameis Winston. If y'all saw my last video, if not, check it out. I talk really highly about my boy, right? Because he is very underrated, and I feel like he's gonna come in there and he's gonna prove himself in Game 2 that last week wasn't a fluke by throwing 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers.
Against the Crappy defense.
Who cares? But still, I still think they're gonna pull it off, right, guys? So I'm gonna call the Bucks by 10 points.
All right. Well, good luck with that. The Cardinals are pissed off. They lost a close one on I believe it was a missed field goal against New England. And they've got the defensive chops. Their coach called them out individually. They've got the offense to match it. And it's at Arizona. I just can't. I like what the Bucks are building there. I do. I think they're maybe a year away from being a legit contender.
Yeah.
But I can't go against the Cardinals here. I think I could see it being one of those games that's like, man, it could go either way. But the Cardinals, I just think the Cardinals are going to come out ferocious and they want this one bad.
I think with the Bucks, it's the same thing that we said about the Texans. I think the Bucks have to get a good tempo going and keep it moving. I feel like because they're still young with their new core, if they're like kind of slacking a little bit or they're having a rough start, it's really hard for them to get back. But until they get that tempo, once they get that tempo and they hold on to that tempo, they just keep shooting with it, And that's what I was really happy about Jameis Winston last week, is that even after that first interception,
he's poised.
Yeah, he was still able to show maturity and come back and throw those touchdowns and come and give his team a win.
Yeah.
But yeah,
absolutely. Next up, this one I might surprise you with the pick. It depends on what you pick, but Jaguars and Chargers.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like the Chargers might pull it out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Chargers on that.
I'm going opposite. I'm saying Jaguars. If you watch my other videos, the Jaguars are going to start surprising people. This is a team that's going to start pushing for the wild card, if not this year, next year for sure. Their defense is fast, young, ferocious. They got a ton of first rounders on that defense. Got great pass rushers, great defensive backs, great linebackers. They're all young. They're all really talented. They just need to develop a little bit. And then the offense, those two receivers, they both put up over 1,000 yards last year. Allen Hurns and Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
They are monsters on the outside, and they are going to give defensive coordinators fits. If the Chiefs were able to come back with the lack of offense that they have right now against the Chargers, they have no defense. This offense is going to run amok on them. I just see it happening.
I think the biggest thing that I like about the Jaguars is their helmets. That's the only. I know this sounds like
they got so much crap for those last year. Everyone's like, I don't know about those.
I think I actually like. I was the only one who liked them. I think, but I have bad taste. Who
I'm sure you like the upgrade to the new Buccaneers helmet as well.
Yeah, sure, I like it too.
The Falcons and Raiders.
I think the Raiders are gonna pull it
Oh,
off.
I'm going Raiders all
I'll
the way.
go Raiders.
Falcons have no defense. The Raiders have a great offense now with Amari Cooper, Latavius Murray, Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And they've got a defense. Didn't play real well last week, but they've got a lot. They spent a lot on defense. They've got some good pass rushers. And Khalil Mack was pretty quiet last week, but I don't think that's going to last very long.
And I think that people underrate the Raiders too. You don't hear a lot of talk about them.
Yeah, I'd say that, but
year.
they definitely have them on the come up. Everybody's definitely watching them because they know they're a team that's they're the dark horse to win the AFC West.
Yeah.
So, we got 3 left. We got the Colts and Broncos. I'm going Broncos.
I would have to go Broncos too. I think after what they proved last week, I know there's a lot of big controversy on calls and things like that. But I feel like they do have a good quarterbacks. There was a big worry about him because it was his first pass he ever threw. But I feel like they can possibly pull it off. Andrew Luck and the Colts, I feel like they kind of struggle a little bit. Like
I feel
overall,
like they've fallen off.
Yeah,
they have, as far as I'm concerned, they have no defense. Outside of Robert Mathis, they have zero defensive help.
Yeah.
No pass rush, no nothing. They give up a ton of points, so it's up to Andrew Luck to go out there and just throw bombs all day long. Well, T.Y. Hilton is hurt, so it leaves it. I mean, he's going to play. But, I mean, I don't know how much you can rely on all these receivers that really are. They're very good receivers, but you have a bunch of slot receivers playing the wideout position, and they have no running game whatsoever. They tried with Trent Richardson, didn't work. Now you're trying with an older Frank Gore past his prime. I got to go with the Broncos on this. That defense really turned it up a notch in that second half.
Like, I feel like Frank Gore was a good running back, but now he's just getting old, and it's just. Like I said, it's like Andrew Luck versus the team, you know, like
pretty much.
Yeah, so it's Andrew Luck trying to pull all these, things out of his butt, and he just can't,
That's how it is in San Diego now too, with Keenan Allen out. It's pretty much Phillip Rivers against whoever they're playing.
Yeah.
So then next up we got the game on NBC, the Sunday night game. I'm really looking forward to this one. Packers at the Vikings. The Vikings are unveiling their new stadium for the first time ever. Man, I love the Packers so, dude. This is tough. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think he's the best quarterback in the league. They're missing one of their best corners. Sam Shields probably isn't going to play. They've got a pretty good defense. Julius Peppers, Clay Matthews, good pass rushers. They've got a really good offense. Jordy Nelson's back. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the Vikings with the upset, though.
You think the Vikings with the upset?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm going with Vikings opening the new stadium. I think Adrian Peterson was held pretty quiet last week. There's no way he's going to let that happen again at home in the new stadium. Sam Bradford, I hear, is going to play. I think he's going to he's not great, obviously. He gets a lot of criticism, but I think he's going to do decent enough in this offense. I think Diggs is going to step up. I mean, they won the division last year, beating the Packers in the final game of the season, and they ended up winning the division. So they're definitely right there. They can definitely compete. I see the Vikings winning an upset.
I wouldn't have expected how much you hyped up the Packers, you're like, hype, Vikings. And I was like, I don't know. But misdirection. But I think I have to call the Packers for one reason, and I think it's because the only plays that the Vikings are going to call is hand off to Adrian Peterson. I
don't think so, man.
Because I don't think he knows the offense that well. Like,
they know that they're banged up in the defensive backfield, so they can sling around the field. And not to mention, it takes a really good defense, like the Vikings defense, to win a game without scoring an offensive touchdown.
Yeah,
they scored 24 points and they had no offensive touchdowns.
It definitely is going to be a offensive like battle. The Vikings defense versus.
All you had to say was like, if you're picking the Green Bay Packers, you'd be like, I'm picking it for two reasons: Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you gotta say.
It's Aaron Rodgers versus the Vikings defense.
It
But we'll see what happens.
Last game, it's this is the Monday night game, I believe. Yeah, this is the Monday night game. Eagles at the Bears. Carson Wentz, second NFL action. Who you got? Bears. We just saw them get, bent over against the Texans last week.
I feel like the Eagles are going to pull it off, but also I don't want to count out the Bears either. I feel like they might be able, like they have what it could take to come up with the win, but I don't see it likely happening. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if you're thinking like logically, you're like, oh yeah, the Eagles are going to win it, but I don't want to count out the Bears and just be like, oh yeah, they're not going to be able to pull it off.
Here's why I say that the Eagles are going to take this. The Bears, they're not a bad team. They're not a terrible team. They were 6-10 last year, but they're not a terrible team. Jay Cutler gets rattled easy, and that's why I'm going to call this game in favor of the Eagles. The Eagles' pass rush is actually pretty good. They get after the quarterback, Connor Barwin, guys like that. With Carson Wentz out there, I think they just feel this sense of like hope. It's like you get that rookie quarterback, you want to help him, get off to a good start. And they've got the receivers aren't that great. Jordan Matthews is okay. But I feel like they're going to get Darren Sproles involved more to kind of help him out, Carson Wentz out, just get him in space and get some yardage. And I just see the Bears getting rolled over by the Eagles. I mean, I wouldn't say rolled over. It might be like a 10-point game, something like that.
I see it 9-7. I don't know why.
You're calling it as it's going to be like an old Texans game when we had Chris Brown and it was just field goal.
Yeah, it's going to be like field goals.
The Dom Capers offense.
Yeah, maybe a touchdown field goal or it's like 10-9, something like that. Like it's gonna be like I feel like overall it might be a boring game. I don't know why, but I just expect them boring. And we were like, it'd be like first
So
quarter.
like last week's Monday Night Football game when we saw the 49ers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Rams,
But
the guy that ran on the field as a streaker had more yardage than the Rams.
That's true. They probably should sign him.
10 punts. 10 punts. Come on, Los Angeles. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's the most they put the ball down the field because besides that, they didn't, like.
Just a little tidbit I wanted to add in there. Jeff Fisher. You lose 28-0, and they give him a 3-year extension.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of a coach getting the crap kicked out of them, getting blown out, and then getting an extension?
I don't know.
You've seen my disdain for Jeff Fisher. You've seen my videos where I'm talking about like how does this guy still have a job?
Yeah.
You give an extension to a guy that just lost 28-0. But then the Bills, they fire their offensive coordinator for putting up 31 points.
But yet, they don't fire
Because his last
defense.
name isn't Ryan.
Yeah, it's because his last name isn't Ryan. Because
That's what it is.
he doesn't want to fire his own brother and have tension at the family reunion.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, he made that video where he's like, he was hired because of ineptitude. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he was. Because, let's see, 15th ranked defense in Cleveland. He did coach in Oakland. I think they were like 20th.
Yeah.
15th ranked defense in Cleveland. Gets another job. Where? New Orleans. What does he do? 29th ranked defense. Runs him into the ground. So, like, Dallas is like, we'll pick him up. I think he's going to be good. What do? 30th ranked defense.
Yeah.
The guy is trash. Trash. He just gave up 37 points at home,
He's
and
like-
he kept his job, and they fired the other guy.
He's like a bad omen. Like you bring him to your team's going to go down. But overall, I think that
At first, I thought the owners fired him, and it was like to try to make it even more difficult on Rex Ryan, so they could have a reason to fire him in a couple weeks when they're 0-4. Because if you don't know, their next two opponents, Arizona and New England, they're about to be 0-4.
Yeah.
Let's see how good his defense does.
yeah, because they just they just lost his last game, and like I don't know, man. I don't know why he decided to bring in his brother. Like you said, after looking at the stats, if you just look at the stats, there's no reason to bring him in.
The guy they fired, Greg Roman.
Yeah.
Since they hired him last year as the highest paid offensive coordinator, by the way, in the league, they were the number one offense in the league since he took over.
Yeah.
And you fire the best offensive coordinator. I'm not calling him the best offensive coordinator, but just statistically, I guess he was.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I think it doesn't make sense to like all the NFL fans out there, but that's something that we can get into a whole different topic on a different video.
Bills are a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all we got for you guys today. Tell us what you think. Tell us what your picks are down in the comments below. Let us know if you think we're absolutely nuts. If you agree with us, start a debate with us. We'd love to argue with you guys.
Yeah.
Just let us know what you think. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, share, follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, and drop a comment on Facebook as well. We love to hear comments. We love to hear feedbacks. We love to hear debates. So we like to keep it interesting. So good and bad. So give us a holler on hopefully we bring more content to you guys. Man, this is Beezy. We're checking out.
Yep, this is Damon. Hope y'all enjoyed what you saw today. Y'all have a good one.